Cut City Connect, Cut City Connect, Cut City Connect. Yeah. Houston Rocket News, everything you need. You know we keep it in check. Scores, interviews, and player stats. Yo, we keep it in check. Subscribe to see what's next. It's Cut City Connect.
Alrighty, what is the deal, YouTube? This is your boy Tyler A.
And your boy AP.
And we want to welcome you guys to another episode of Clutch City Connect. And on today's episode, we have Mr. Von Wafer on the show. And first things first, Von, we want to say thank you so much for coming on once again. You're going to hear that 20,000 more times. But we want to thank you so much for coming on the show, my man.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for allowing me on your platform. You know what I'm saying? A guy like me, a lot of guys don't want me on their platform, so I appreciate you guys.
Well, you're definitely more than welcome here, and if you want to come on again, please, by all means, let us know, and we'll definitely hit you up, and we'll make it happen. But, sure. I mean, a lot of people know who you are, but I think you need to let them know again who you are. So.
No, I don't know if a lot of people know who I am. I know the fans do, but like the other some people act like they don't know who I am. But just in case, if anybody forgot, my name is Von Wafer. I grew up in a small town called Homer, Louisiana. Went to the University of Florida State. Was blessed and fortunate to play 7 years in the NBA, and my best season, which was with the Houston Rockets. It was a very good year. Played with the legendary Yao Ming. And after my NBA career, I was blessed and fortunate to play a couple years overseas in China. And I'm just here now, just grinding, and it feels good to reintroduce myself to the people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, speaking of 7 years in the league, let's talk about it, my man. So, what was your journey like to the NBA? Dating all the way back from high school up till when you got to the league, and also playing overseas. Can you kind of inform the viewers of your process?
I think my process was kind of unique, man. I don't think really a lot of people know a lot about me, because usually I just get on and I'm always, you had to do this, and everybody was such a brotherhood, and we all worked together. But that wasn't how it was. My process was kind of difficult. I've been open about I had some mental disabilities, you know what I'm saying, some shortcomings, but physically, athletically, I was just more gifted than everybody else. And it was difficult. My process was difficult because of my mental disabilities. That's how they diminish my athletic ability. So I always found myself trying to fit in. Never did fit in. Every team I played on, it was kind of a difficult situation. I always was the outcast. And the process was just, it was fun because I was playing basketball, but it was very difficult mentally for me. I was dealing with a lot of depression behind the scenes, but when I got on that basketball court, I forgot all of that. You know what I'm saying? And it was my escape. But the process was just the same, basically, just trying to go prove myself, trying to go fit in, trying to figure out what I needed to do in order to put myself in the best position possible. I didn't really work out. So like a lot of guys, probably won't be able to learn much from my process as far as like training and stuff, because I didn't really train. I just had athletic ability and blessings from God. So I wasn't really big on training, but the process was just something that, it was like I was a fish out of water. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I was just learning as I went along, so it was a unique process. And I don't know if other guys probably experienced the same process as I did, but that's the best way I can explain it. Just athletic ability, just crazy athletic ability, can shoot the ball, could do things, but the mental part is where a lot of the trouble occurred, and people utilizing that to neutralize my ability on the court. So my process was very difficult outside the court, but on the court, I had a great time.
Sweet. So let me ask you something.
Yeah.
How important is mental health when it comes to playing in the NBA? Because you got to think about it. You're away from your family a lot. You probably don't have time to do a lot of things you want to do. It
That's
can be
not the
taxing on
hardest
a player.
part. That's not the hardest part when it comes to mental health. Like I said, I'm gonna start being honest. You know, when I do content, I try to be professional and politically correct, but that's the easy part, being away from your family and stuff. The tough part on your mental health is the snakes. And you're in a competitive environment where some guys will do whatever they have to do. You know, you never know what guys are going through financially. You never know what they're going through. You never know how far they'll go to try to, you know what I'm saying, continue to get paid or whatever. If they got to get you out the way, you know what I'm saying, whatever they have to do. So it's a lot of stress on mental health because a lot of guys don't understand that. But as we look, what do we see? The NBA and those executives, they realized what was going on. That's why the league is becoming more younger. You know, they're getting the older guys out because a lot of times those older guys, you know, they don't want to get out the way. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to see the youngsters, you know, shine. So that is the biggest strain on your mental health, is like dealing with the competitiveness and the ruthlessness that comes along with it, because it's all fair game with some people when you're in that type of arena. So it gets real. So it's a lot of pressure on your mental health, not just from being away from your family, just from the competitive environment you have to deal with, which could be a guy that's in the locker next to you, could be your teammate. But we all are putting on this front like we're a brotherhood, we together, but really it's people trying to rip your neck off, trying to get that spot because they need that money. So that's just the real truth of it.
You know, in all honesty, I want to talk to you. You know about Fondy, right?
Yes. A big fan.
So
I played up there a couple of times.
When I was younger, man, my uncle would take me to Fondy, and blessing is a blessing. I got to talk to Moochie Norris, and he put me on game about a lot of stuff that goes on in the league. And he said, man, it's a dog fight every single year because these teams are bringing in these young cats. And, you know, it's an unwritten rule in the league not to get your spot taken, because once it's taken, you don't know if you're going to get another contract.
Right.
So, you know, that's what you just said, just kind of put it out there and kind of confirmed it for me and Aaron that, you know, it's real in the NBA. You know, it's not guaranteed.
Very real in the NBA. It's a lot of politics. It's very real. It's ruthless. It's a lot of backdoor going on. It's a lot of snakes. It's a lot of fabrication going on. But that's in any industry. You see the Cat Williams situation. A lot of people like they surprised. You know what I'm saying? But this is what goes on in these industries when you're dealing with a lot of money, man. It's gonna be snakes, fakes. It's gonna be ruthlessness. The only difference between an NBA basketball player and a regular dude that's a hater, or somebody that's hating on somebody at a high school or whatever, you know how local dudes are haters, is that they can play basketball real good. That's the only difference. But they still got the same mentality, think the same way. So yeah, it can get rough.
Absolutely.
And youngsters need to understand that, but they don't really tell youngsters that. They all, you know, just work hard, and you know, you need to be prepared, because your teammate right beside you, you coming in, he might try to, you know what I'm saying? You coming in, you the young fella, you got to know how to navigate through all of that. You got to know how to stay out the way of these politics. You got to be careful. They might send in a girl. You know what I'm saying? It's all type of things that these youngsters got to look out for, you know?
Absolutely. And that's the unfortunate thing about it.
It's real, and nobody talks about it, but I'm gonna talk about it.
Well, we're definitely gonna have some conversation after the episode. Like I say, I appreciate this, but
Sure.
I want to ask you. So, I want to talk to you about the Houston Rockets from that 08-09 season. That sits so dear in me and Aaron's heart. Why did you choose Houston, and what were some of your most memorable moments from that season?
I chose Houston because I was, like I was saying before, my mental, what I mean. My mental was that's what had me out of the league. My ability, when I got drafted in the NBA, I should have went lottery. I should have just been on one team, but I was bouncing from team to team, and the Rockets are the only team that really showed me any interest. And I think that it was just a favor. I don't really think that Daryl Morey and them expected me to make the team. I don't really think that, they expected for me to do what I did. They weren't expecting that. The thing that, well, I mean, I ain't gonna get off into that, but I didn't really have any other options. You know what I'm saying? They hit me at the last minute. I think it was like a favor for a favor. Just let them get into training camp. You know what I'm saying? I got into training camp and wasn't getting to play that much, but got in the game and immediately became a fan favorite. The fans are what kept me. That's why I was able to stay with the Rockets. But I didn't have no other options. They were really my only option, to be real.
Well, let me tell you this. You're the original. To me, growing up for me, you were the original number 13.
Well, I appreciate that.
That's just being honest and that's just being frank. You were my favorite player from that season. And
I think I created the business model for them to bring in the other 13. You know what I'm saying? So,
because, man, you could tell the difference between when a player is just playing for a contract and when a player just has passion for it. And you had passion on the court, man. I think that's what stuck out to me from you. You had passion on the court, man. It's like you were balling like, man, I'm going to go out here and go get it. Like, it wasn't like...
Yeah. Like I told you, it's like, everything lines up. I was going through a lot because of my mental. I wasn't just sharp as I needed to be mentally. So my time to just be who I was and just was out there on that court. And when I went out there on the court, I don't care what's going on. I'm going hard as I can. I don't care if it's the playoffs. I don't care if it's the preseason. I'm going the same speed. And I think that is why I built such a connection with the fans. And it's why I build a connection with the fans everywhere I go. If I get a chance to play, if I'm somehow get on the court, but the politics, they try to keep me off the court because they know that the fans are going to gravitate towards me because I'm going to give my all I don't care what's going on. If it's the preseason, I don't care if it's 3-on-3. I don't care. That's my way of just unleashing and just being free when I'm out there on that court. So definitely just I think that was the passion you were seeing while I was out there.
And it was no matter who was out there, man.
No matter who was out there. I didn't.
It was crazy, and it's some things that I'm gonna talk to you about that's gonna be kind of off from this,
All right.
But I do want to ask you, do you have any like memorable moments from that season as far as like scoring wise?
I have I can't really remember anything particular about the season specifically, but my heart is always with the city of Houston, the fans. Like, it's hard for me to even go to Houston now because I feel like, I'm not the same Von Wafer that, you know what I'm saying? And it's just hard for me to even go back there. So that's my memory is the fans, you know what I'm saying? Just going places and seeing the fans and just the way that the fans in the city made me feel. Like, I've been very open about it. I was going through a lot of difficulties, like with my mental, a lot of depression, and that's the first time in Houston where I felt like I belong in the NBA. You know what I mean? I can really play this. I can play this basketball at the highest level with anybody. So that's my most memorable thing is just that rapport with the fans. Just remembering the fans showing up to the game with the Mohawks, the Von Hawks, and just all the love. That's what I remember more than anything over the points or anything.
Well, let me tell you, you definitely struck some in a young 14-year-old kid from Galveston, Texas. You definitely hit him hard, man.
Solid, solid.
I loved your game, man.
I
I got to be
appreciate it.
honest.
I
Right, we
appreciate
were glued to that TV. Like, man, who's that number 13 out there? Beast mode like that.
it, and I appreciate it.
So let's segue to the Rockets of today. So,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on the Rockets so far this season? And what are your thoughts on the Rockets' young core and their veterans?
I don't really keep up with basketball to be real, but what I did see is that they got things headed in the right direction. They got great executives. They have a great GM. I said that like 3 years ago. I did an interview, and I could see what they were doing, and I'm like, they're gonna be all right. I feel like they're making all the right moves. It's just a matter of time now. They have a great foundation with the Thompson kid. I haven't seen him play, but I just know that this kid is going to be good just from watching. And they signed Van Fleet, great veteran. They got things headed in the right direction. Jalen Green, I think, is going to be a star. I think he's just trying to find his way. I think he's trying to find his way. I don't really know how he's playing, but I just saw what they were saying. He was going up and down. But I feel like he's gonna be all right. It's just gonna take a little bit of time. I think once he gets his second contract, gets that security, I think he'll be a lot better. Then you have the young fellow, the Jabari. I think that they're all forming an identity, and I think that they have things heading in the right direction. I think the biggest thing is they have great management. Got a great coach. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And it's just being patient and letting things develop now. But great management. Great management team. They don't really get a lot of credit, but with all the cards they were dealt, they made the most of their hand. They inherited the situation with James Harden, and they did the best they could with it. And I think if they can get a few players, maybe can get someone to come in free agency, I think they will. You see Van Fleet came. I think that things are going to take off. So they just need a piece or two, and I believe that it's a very attractive place. It was one of my favorite places to play. So I definitely think the future is bright.
For sure. Well, so I want to ask you a couple of bonus questions. What was your most favorite thing to eat in Houston?
Oh,
Jamaican food. There was this Jamaican restaurant I used to eat at every day. I can't remember the name of it, but they used to make some of the best curry goat. I used to get the curry goat, the oxtails. I was on the Jamaican food back then, way back then. I used to go to that place every day. I know they know who I am. They still open.
Oh, they
Jamaican
probably would. Oh, that's Vaughn right there. Let's get him a special.
right?
Jamaican. I used to get the curry goat and the oxtails. I used everything I got from that place was good. I was there eating every day. I'm kind of like OCD too, so once I find something that's good, I can eat it every day straight. Like, you know what I mean, for like a month straight. So I was going in there every day. Jamaican food easily.
So I got one more question for you before we get out of here. So if you had to offer young players any advice on the NBA, the process, what it takes to get there, what it takes to stay there and maintain being there.
Mm-hmm.
What advice would you give them?
One thing I tell them to do is to. That's a great question because it's so many things, but I want to just hone in. I don't want to just work hard and stay focused. Is more complicated than that. I would just tell them. I would be like, don't go out to the clubs. You know what I'm saying? Look at yourself like a brand. Don't wear yourself thin. Don't be going out to the nightclub. Stay away from that type of situation. During the season, in the summertime, if you want to go out once a week, that's cool. But stay out of the nightclubs. Don't drink alcohol. Really invest in your body for as eating healthy. Make sure you're drinking water, getting proper sleep. Make sure that you talk to management, the GM. So ask them what they expect of you, what they want to see from you, what you need to work on, and ask them to put you in the right situations with the right people, and just follow that blueprint. But ask them who to stay away from, what type of situations, who they need to be, interacting with. So if I could give them advice, I would tell them to really hone in on your diet, stay out of the nightclub, especially during the season. Go to management, the GM, and keep constant communication on what they want you to do and do it.
For sure. Well, I do want to say, guys, we want to thank you so much for watching and tuning into this episode. This is actually episode 11 for us. It's a blessing to have you on once again, my main man, Von Wafer.
I appreciate you for having me. Thank you for letting me on this platform. Like I said, not a lot of guys rock with me, let me on their platform, so I appreciate it. I don't know why so many people have an issue with me, but I guess when you're honest, people kind of they back off from that. So I appreciate you guys for allowing me on the platform. I really enjoyed myself, and I had a great time. Great questions.
To come on the show.
For sure.
Well, we definitely want to appreciate you, and we want to thank you guys again for tuning in to another episode of Clutch City Connect, episode 11. This is your boy Tyler A.
And your boy AP.
And we want to thank you once again. Peace.
+1